Hello, I'm Elena. Let's talk about something that feels incredibly lonely even when you're with the person you love most, the endless repetitive argument. It's the fight about the laundry that's not really about the laundry. It's the tense conversation about money that's actually about fear and security. It's the same script, same accusations, and the same bitter end, night after night. You both know the lines by heart. Posa. It leaves you feeling exhausted, misunderstood, and wondering if anything will ever change. Many of the couples I advise come to me feeling hopeless, trapped in this cycle. They love each other, but this pattern is eroding the very foundation of their connection. They believe they have a communication problem. But what if I told you it's not about communication, but about a destructive dance you've learned to do together? In this video, we're not just going to talk about it. We are going to map out a clear, step-by-step plan to break free. We'll identify your specific argument cycle, understand the deep emotional triggers behind it, and learn practical, specific techniques to replace it with understanding and connection. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you will have the tools to turn your biggest point of conflict into a source of strength. Identifying your demon dialogue. First, we need to give your enemy a name. Dr. Sue Johnson, a brilliant couples therapist, calls these cycles demon dialogues. They typically fall into three main patterns. As I describe them, I want you to see if you recognize your own dance. The first and most common is find the bad guy. This is the blame game. It's a relentless cycle of you did this and no, it's because you did that. Both partners are on the attack, defending their position, desperately trying to prove they are the one who is right, the one who is wronged. The underlying emotion here is a deep need to feel heard and validated, but it comes out as criticism and accusation. It's a vicious cycle because no one ever wins. When you make your partner the villain, you both lose the relationship. The second pattern is the protest polka. This is the one I mentioned in one of our shorts. The pursue-withdraw dance. One partner, feeling a lack of connection or attention, protests by pursuing, criticizing, complaining, or demanding. The other partner, feeling overwhelmed and attacked, withdraws, shutting down, leaving the room, or getting defensive. The more the pursuer pushes, the more the withdrawer retreats. The pursuer feels abandoned and unheard, while the withdrawer feels inadequate and attacked. It's a tragic dance fueled by a fear of rejection on one side and a fear of failure on the other. Finally, there's the freeze and flee. This is what happens when the protest polka has gone on for too long. Both partners now withdraw. They've given up. The arguments are less frequent, but the silence is deafening. There's a polite distance, an emotional detachment. It feels safer because there's no conflict, but it's the most dangerous dance of all, because it signals that both partners are starting to lose hope. Take a moment. Which dance is yours? Identifying it is the first crucial step. It stops being a confusing emotional mess and becomes a clear, identifiable pattern, and a pattern can be broken. Uncovering the raw spot. Now you might be asking, Elena, why do we get stuck in this pattern over something as silly as taking out the trash? The answer is that it's almost never about the trash. The repetitive argument is a trigger for what we call a raw spot. A raw spot is a deep emotional sensitivity, often stemming from our past, our childhood, previous relationships, or deep-seated insecurities. When your partner inadvertently pokes this raw spot during a conflict, your reaction is disproportionate to the situation. Imagine your relationship is a beautiful garden. A raw spot is like a patch of soil where the protective top layer has been scraped away, leaving a sensitive nerve exposed. When your partner says, "You never listen to me," you're not just hearing those words. If your raw spot is a fear of being inadequate or a failure, what you feel is, "You think I'm incompetent. I can never do anything right." If your raw spot is a fear of abandonment, what you feel is, "You're going to leave me. I'm not important to you." This is the critical question you need to ask yourself, not during the fight, but in a moment of calm. When we are in that cycle, what is my deepest fear? Is it the fear of being abandoned, of being controlled, of being seen as a failure, of being invisible and unimportant? And then ask this about your partner. When they are yelling or shutting down, what is their raw spot? What are they really afraid of in that moment? This isn't about excusing hurtful behavior. It's about understanding the real source of the pain. The fight is just the symptom. The raw spot is the wound. Many of the couples I work with have a breakthrough when they realize for the first time that their partner's anger is actually a cry of distress. The 4 steps to de-escalate and reconnect. Okay, you've identified your dance and you're starting to understand the raw spots. Now, what do you do in the heat of the moment? Here is a practical 4-step process to stop the cycle in its tracks. Step 1. See the pattern, not the person. The moment you feel that familiar tension rising, your first job is to mentally step back and say to yourself, here it is. This is our pattern. This is the protest polka starting. By naming the pattern, you stop seeing your partner as the enemy. The enemy is the cycle itself. You can even say it out loud gently. Honey, I think we're getting caught in our old dance. This simple act creates a sliver of space between the trigger and your reaction. Step 2. Take a strategic pause. When emotions are high, your prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain, goes offline. You are literally not capable of rational problem solving. You must pause. But, and this is crucial, it has to be a structured pause. Agree on a time. Say, I am feeling overwhelmed. Can we please pause this for 20 minutes? I promise I will come back to it. This reassures the pursuing partner that you are not abandoning them, while giving the withdrawing partner the space they desperately need to calm down. Go to separate rooms, take deep breaths, and focus on soothing your nervous system. Step 3. Re-engage with I feel statements. When you come back together, the rule is you can only speak from your own perspective, about your own feelings. Instead of, you always make me feel. Try, when the situation happens, I feel. For example, when I see the dishes in the sink, I feel overwhelmed and unimportant, like my efforts aren't seen. This is not about blaming. It's about revealing your raw spot. You are giving your partner a window into your inner world. This invites empathy, not defensiveness. Your goal is not to win the point about the dishes, it's to help your partner understand the feeling underneath the argument. Step 4. Create a new positive cycle. The final step is to co-create a solution that addresses both partners' underlying needs. Ask a connecting question like, what do you need from me right now to feel safe, loved, heard? Or, how can we tackle this problem as a team? Maybe the person who feels invisible needs a simple thank you for their efforts. Maybe the person who feels like a failure needs to hear I appreciate you instead of criticism. You are creating a new dance, one where you turn towards each other's vulnerability instead of away from it. This is where real connection happens. This is how you transform a recurring fight into an opportunity for deeper intimacy. Breaking this cycle isn't easy. It takes courage from both of you. It requires you to be vulnerable, to look at your own fears, and to choose connection over being right. Pauser. Think of your relationship like a garden. The repetitive arguments are like weeds that keep growing back, choking the life out of the beautiful things you've planted. You can keep pulling the tops off, or you can get to the root. The steps we've outlined today are about getting to the root. It's a process and it won't be perfect overnight. There will be times you slip back into the old dance. But now you have a map. You can recognize it, stop it, and choose a different path. A path of empathy and teamwork. You have the power to stop the dance. You can choose to listen to the fear behind the anger. You can choose to be a team against the problem instead of opponents in a battle. You deserve a relationship filled with safety, understanding, and deep loving connection. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this video resonated with you, please click the like button. It truly helps the channel reach others who might be feeling just as stuck as you are, and I want to hear from you. In the comments below, without sharing any private details, tell me which demon dialogue you recognize the most. Sharing this helps us all feel a little less alone. For more guides on building a stronger, more connected relationship, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. I release new content every week. Remember, a beautiful relationship doesn't just happen. It's built one conscious choice at a time. Be patient with yourself and with each other. You can do this.